My name's Christine Heath and I'm the Volunteer Services Manager for the Leeds and York Partnership Foundation Trust. I've been working in this job for the last 18 years and in that time have seen lots and lots of people coming through our service. The people that do come through, the volunteers, have all progressed into different aspects of either employment or they've gone on to get actual permanent jobs. We do have people that have worked in the trust and we also have people that have been introduced to healthcare through our trust and have now gone on and got jobs in healthcare environments. Whilst we have people volunteering in the department with us, we do offer an extensive amount of training. And the training is something that is not really thought about when you actually join up to be a volunteer. But the training that we give is what the staff here also have. If you think about all the training that staff have, a volunteer can attend any of that training if it helps them moving on into something that they want to do in the future. So it could be working in older people's services, but it could be working in a nursing background or even working as a clinical psychologist. We all have the training that can help them towards that will go on their CV.
Hi, my name's Caroline and I work in the Voluntary Services Department at LYPFT. My role is Placement and Development Officer. I recruit the volunteers and I place them throughout the trust. It's very important to me and to the Voluntary Services Department that we place the right volunteer in the right area, particularly in befriending. So they've got to have the same interests, not necessarily the same age or gender, but as long as they've got something in common, and we try to get such a close match, and we do find it works and we do have longevity with those volunteers. Various people applying to be volunteers within the trust. We get a lot of people that are psychology students. We get people that have maybe been carers in the past and they haven't got that role anymore, but they still want to put something into the community to keep busy themselves, so they'll come along and they've got a wealth of experience. We have people that have used the services themselves that want to gain some confidence, that maybe have never had a job. So we offer supervision and support. I supervise volunteers every 3 to 4 months. However, the door is always open in voluntary services. If somebody wants to come along for a cup of tea and a chat, or if they need extra support, we can do it away from the site. So there are a lot of things that we can offer volunteers, and the feedback that we do get from volunteers is really positive. Personally, my role is only small, but the rewards are massive.
I'm Andrew, I'm Supporting Volunteers Officer at LYPFT, and I started off over 20 years ago as a service user initially, and then started to get better because I was told to probably be severely ill for a very long time, and worked my way up and got experience. Did a lot of volunteering work in the late 90s to get experience, and my pathway, my aim to get back into paid work. Applied to be a volunteer here actually at this trust, and Caroline was very good at taking me on, and got lots of experience through that. Saw how the trust worked as well, which has become very useful. And yeah, went on to do other different types of care work, and eventually applied for this job 2 years ago. I like to see how the volunteers enjoy their volunteering with the service users in each of the different environments, because I find that really rewarding.
Hi, my name's Richard. I'm a volunteer at St Mary's Hospital, working at Hawthorne House. So I run a baking, cooking and also a relaxation class there. I very much enjoy it. You know, you see someone who typically could be very shy, very quiet, very low self-esteem, and making or baking something as simple as a cake and seeing their reaction at the end from their self-esteem point of view, just to see them and to get them to realise that they're not rubbish at everything and they can do these things. So why I'm volunteering and doing this. I'm a psychology student. Really it was an opportunity to get to experience the setting within the NHS and to understand the environment and the type of people that use the service users. And although it's early days, it's been really rewarding to see that there is this help for people and they can get better. And certainly in my snapshot of being there, it's been really good to see patients sort of come in at a low level and to leave with, you know, maybe a smile on their face, but at least a bit more of a spring in their step. And as far as the staff that I'm working with and around have been fantastic, and I feel like I'm not just treated as a volunteer, but sort of one of the team.
Hi, I'm Kinga. I work at the Becklin Centre. I work on Ward 3 as an occupational therapy assistant. I started volunteering for Trust during my studies. I studied psychology, so I wanted to gain some more practical experience. And then from there I went on to working full-time, so I feel volunteering was a really important part of it because it started off from that, because I knew that if I won't be able to do things in practice, there's no point me going and working with service users. I would rather stick with the academic side of psychology and probably be a lecturer somewhere.
Hi, I'm Annie. I'm a volunteer with the Assertive Outreach team at the Leeds City Museum. It's a little social group on Thursdays. The biggest thing for me, I think, when I first started volunteering is seeing how normal everyone looks. And I don't know what normal is, but just from like an external point of view, and people just go about their day, and then you sit down with these people and you get to hear their stories, their struggles, and you just realize everyone's going through something. And I think that's for me was like the biggest sort of shock, because you see these people out and you don't think they go through what they go through. So it's just like a reminder to just be nice to people. And I've been through things where I couldn't talk to people. I didn't have anyone around me who understood that struggle with like depression and anxiety and not being able to talk to somebody. So for me, people opening up is a big thing, and I like that there is a space, a safe space for people where they can come, sit down and talk about these things, and there is no judgment. There is no one sitting across you telling you it's not such a big deal, everyone goes through it, and things that you hear every day, because these are big things affecting people clearly. So that's one thing I really enjoy about coming to the support group, because it gives people that safe environment to just be themselves, meet other people who are going through the same things, and that, I think, ability to just relate to somebody else is what's really good for people. Just seeing that it's not just you. And I know in my first year of university, I felt like it was just me, just looking around and everyone's going out, everyone's getting drunk, and you're in your bed crying, not having friends, missing your family, not being able to talk to your family because they don't understand mental health, not being able to talk to your friends because you're being too negative. They don't want to hear that. So actually having somewhere you can just sit and say, you know what, I'm having a hard time, I need help, I need to let these issues out. I feel like that's one thing I really appreciate about the group.
I'm Karen, and I've been doing befriending for nearly a year now, and this involves meeting somebody who's in the community, who's having problems maybe, doesn't want to go out, not interested in anything. My job is to get her out there and get her interested in something to make her life a bit happier. But I have phoned her up occasionally and she'll be crying, and you know, so I'll go and see her. And then the nice part is that at the end of seeing her, she's a big smile on her face, and you feel that's great that I've made her feel like that. But by the same token, you know, if you're not seeing her the next day, will she go back down? But you know you're doing a little bit to help, and that's a nice feeling.
My name's Jack. I've been volunteering with the NHS. The first time I came along and met Caroline was in 2013. So I probably did that for about 7 or 8 months, and then I moved away from Leeds. But doing that work really set me up for the job that I moved to do. I moved to Hereford and ran a project that was running music workshops with young people, specifically targeted at those growing up in challenging circumstances. So since the end of the year, I sort of finished volunteering at the end of last year. So coming back round into the beginning of this year, what I'm looking at the moment is to set up as a freelance workshop runner. Caroline again has been really helpful. She put me in touch with Arts and Minds. But really I'm trying to set up freelance and trying to get paid a bit for it really. And of course I'll always give stuff away for free because I just love doing the work.
My name's Kitty Plowright. I'm an occupational therapist and I work at Ascotcroft, which is Recovery and Rehabilitation Services. I've worked at a number of units through the Trust in the last 3 years, and over that time I've worked with quite a lot of volunteers. So I've just recently started volunteering with the Trust myself. I'd come across another occupational therapist that was using their PAT dog, which is Pets as Therapy, and they were utilising that within their work. So I'd had my dog Brian for quite a while now, and I'd noticed that whenever I'm out and about with Brian, he turns heads and people come up and cuddle him and smile when they see him. We've just sort of noticed how much better he makes people feel, so we got him tested as a Pets as Therapy dog just in spring this year, and then we managed to set up a bit of a proposal with the ward at Ascotcroft, and they agreed that he could come in for a day every week. So we've been doing this for a month now, and we've just been doing some evaluations with the service users. But I've noticed a huge difference. People are constantly asking me, how's Brian? When's he coming in next? Sometimes our service users might struggle to engage or communicate, or just to know what they want to do at the moment, and actually Brian's been a real focal point.
Voluntary work for me has allowed me to really get to understand the problems that people have, and mental health as far as through friends and family, being able to see it, and also I found it personally very rewarding myself, being able just to try and help and make someone's day just a little bit better.
I think it helped me a lot with my interpersonal skills and how to speak to patients, how to, that they just as you and me, they have an illness, but that doesn't define them as a person. They have a lot in them beside that.
Because I've got a lot from these experiences, and I think with my own struggles with mental health, I've developed this interest in wanting to help people. I feel like that's what that was for. That was all for a reason. There's no way I went through depression just to come out and just say, okay, I'm done. I want to help people. So I'm hoping these experiences will give me the experience that I need to go into mental health nursing. I would like to help people going through similar issues and just remind them you can come out the other end and there is hope. Being a volunteer, first of all, gave me a lot of confidence and self-esteem boost. It made me want to reach to more things. It expanded my interests and where I wanted to go in life as well, personally in my personal life as well as work. So I just think it helps you realise what you can achieve, especially when you've come from a background of severe mental health issues for a long time, because there's the trouble with stigma is that you can get caught with not realising your potential, and a lot of the time I found my own barriers were in my own head, so to overcome them is really I would never speak to anyone before. I had no confidence to even look people in the eye, so and especially now as a staff member I just find that even more rewarding and boosts my confidence. I've done things I didn't think I could do, really.